Hey, it's going to YouTube Soldier Knows Best here. This is my review of the Canon 60D. It's a very interesting camera choice for a lot of people who are starting to use DSLRs, but also who want to use these type of cameras for video capture. And I'll talk about how it performs here in a second. But first, let's go and take a look at the hardware. Now, the camera itself is based on an aluminum chassis with a polycarbonate layer on top of it. So it has a little bit of weight to it, but not heavy enough where it's going to get on your nerves from carrying this camera around. But also it feels very sturdy, very solid in your hand. It feels like you'll be able to take a drop. Even though any camera will actually break if you drop it almost. But it feels very sturdy to be able to survive a little dents and dings from here and there. And also on the back of the camera, you'll find the button layout is very intricate. I do like the button layout over a camera just like the T2i. A lot more buttons in the back. Also has a little scroll wheel type of directional pad combination in the back, which I think the directional pad in that little rotation knob could have been a little bit bigger. Feels a little bit crunched in, but it's good enough. And also on the top, you'll find a little LCD screen that shows you vital information like your battery life, your aperture settings, all that stuff will be displayed on that top, so you don't need to look into the viewfinder or use the LCD screen itself. And also it has a slot for the SD card on the right hand side of the device. On the bottom there's the battery input, and also on the left hand side it has the mic input, and I believe also the HDMI out as well. Now the one thing, or the star of the show about this camera, is that it has a flip out 3-inch LCD screen that actually swivels and rotates, so you can hold it at different angles. You can manipulate that screen at different angles, and it's really good if you're trying to take a high shot, you're in a crowd trying to take a shot over a lot of people like I try to do with 50 Cent here at CES. I was able to actually see everything I'm capturing just by tilting that screen, and it worked out perfectly. And that's one of the main reasons I actually got this camera and stopped using my T2i, was just for the screen itself. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some of the picture and video quality. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there are wondering. Now the camera itself has an 18 megapixel sensor. That's the same sensor that's in the 7D and also the same sensor that's in the T2i. So if you ever use those cameras, you're not really going to see that big of a difference between the quality, but it really takes really nice pictures. And that's partly because it does have a 9-point autofocus system, and also has a broad ISO range from 100 to 12,800, which really helps you depending on what your lighting situation is. And the Canon is also throwing in some creative filters that you can add to your pictures, where there's one like a miniature effect you can do to make everything look like a little like toys and stuff like that. So they have a few of those filters you can apply to the picture before or after you take it, which is actually pretty cool, and especially good for a lot of consumers out there who want to play around with those type of things. And so the picture quality is really good. And he's talking about video quality. This camera shoots in full 1080p at 24, 25, and 30 frames per second, and also does shoot at 720p. You can get all the way up to 60 frames per second with that, and also does VGA as well. So without further ado, we're talking about video quality. I'm going to go ahead and show you some clips here that I took at a zoo, and probably some other places as well. Now, as you can see, the camera takes very nice video quality. Everything looks stupendous. I never used that word before, I think, in a video, but it looks outstanding. And then again, this is the same type of video quality you'll get on the T2i and the 7D, and also depends on what lens you use. But even with the standard kit lens with this camera, it produces very nice quality. Now, also with speaking of the video capture, I was able to take about 40 gigs of video capture at CES this year, and the battery life, I had about a little bit less than half of my battery left. So the battery life is really, really good. It'll last you out throughout the whole day. just one battery. So the battery life is also very decent on this camera. And also just overall, my overall opinion of this camera, I think it's a very nice camera, especially for people who are starting to use DSLRs or getting into DSLRs and really want to use this for video. That flip out 3-inch LCD screen is a joy to work with, shooting low angle or high angle video or pictures as well. And also too, it's very easy to learn. It's not complicated at all. If you use the live view mode using the LCD screen, you can see a lot of the information, go through the menu settings. Everything is very simple and laid out with this camera. It's solid built. For the price point around $1,100, you can pick up this camera with a lens. It is very, very nice camera, and I can recommend it for pictures or video, but really for a lot of YouTubers out there who want to be taking video of yourself, and you can flip that screen and be able to see yourself in the camera and make sure you're focused, make sure you're in frame. So I love this camera. I will recommend it to anybody out there for this camera. And if you have any questions or suggestions, leave a comment down below. I want to continue to cover this camera and learn with you as well, as I learn different things with the DSLR video shooting as well. And again, leave a comment down below about anything you want to talk about. And thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will catch you later. Peace.